Do you feel underrated? Do you feel overlooked? Do you feel that you don't get the recognition that you deserve? And in spite of your best efforts, you never seem to get the appreciation that you feel your level of output is worthy of? If so, this video is for you. Or if you know anybody who's going through that, don't forget to tell them to follow your girl Key. And the reason I'm doing this video is because I was thinking about this yesterday, and actually being underrated is, sometimes it can be motivational. I believe it can be motivational if you have a certain number of factors in place, supportive factors in place. Because, you know, there are also people who are underrated, and that can actually make us drop off, that can make us slide off, and that can leave us feeling like we're not worthy, we're not good enough, and it can lead to people giving up. And so if that speaks to you, and I was thinking about some of the artists that I listen to and just thinking, actually, this artist is underrated, brilliant for what they do, and yes, they've made certain achievements. So I kind of commented on Taurus Riley's post on Instagram, but actually like thinking, this guy's actually a legend, and I don't think he gets the props he deserves. But it just led me thinking about being the underdog and what that actually can mean. And that actually is two-pronged. On one hand, it can be incredibly, it can be motivational, but there's a fine line. And that for some people who have been underrated their whole life, it can lead to giving up. And so what I've learned from my own experiences of being underrated, overlooked, / underdog, is there's a range of factors that's been particularly beneficial to me. And one of them is that I douse myself with spiritual music, because what I found, so I listen to that most mornings. I listen to Premier Gospel with Yinka in the morning, because it's not preachy, it's not ramming God down your throat. What it is, though, is music to help me helps me overcome the limited thinking or bad days. It's just, there's always a message, always a quote, which is one of keep pushing, keep going. You don't know how far you've come, and I find that helpful. And I think music works on a different part of the brain. I think to some degree it's like working on the unconscious, because so many times when I've felt like giving up or doubted my journey and what the hell am I doing, jumping out of my regular job and my regular income and the so-called security of having a traditional career, certain lyrics from songs have come back into my awareness that has just helped to lift me up. So I'd say that's one of the factors that I've employed, is listening to spiritual music. Because additionally, when I've had bad days, when I have bad days, what happens with the human mind is that we focus our attention on evidence to support our hypothesis. And so because the mind is very powerful, you'll start to only include evidence into your awareness that supports I should give up. And for me, the antidote for that is faith. So faith means that I have to feel comfortable sitting in the unknown, and that I have to know, believe and trust that my vision is good and it is helpful, and that it means I have to sit with uncertainty. So for me, one, dousing myself with spiritual music has been particularly helpful. And that's also developed my faith. You know, that means, you know, trust? Trusting in what I don't see, you know, because on bad days, all my attention focuses on is the negativity, and faith is a great antidote to that. Thirdly, one of the factors I have in place is that I have people around me, my inner circle, who can support me, who I trust with my vulnerability, who then carry me through. And those people are like fundamentals. So my mentors, my supervisors, my therapist, close friends who I trust with the kind of inner workings of my vision, and when bad days come, those are the people I reach out to. So those are like just 3 factors that are beneficial. But we also have to know that some people can also be motivational, but they can also pinch you too. And those people are people we have to be mindful of. Sometimes family members can also fit into that range where you get kind of warped messages. And so, you know, being an underdog, being underrated, being overlooked, feeling that other people get opportunities that you would like snap up and make like benefit opportunity. When you watch others get opportunities that you know you deserve or you would be worthy of, or if you just got that leverage, things would change drastically. I think one of the factors that's beneficial is faith, knowing that, you know, nothing beats time, and when it's your time, and that you've got to keep grinding. I find that helpful. And it's about, you know, I was listening to Gary Vee yesterday, and he talks about stop posting with the ambition to get numbers. Post because you've got content that you think could inspire people. And, you know, the numbers are the numbers. It's about, for me, it's about knowing that those numbers touch lives. Every one of those numbers is a life, and one life touches many, many lives, you know. So we give thanks to that. And if you are an underdog, if you've felt underrated, if you feel you're perpetually overlooked and you struggle with that, I get it. Do consider thinking about the factors I have in place that have worked for me that may be beneficial for you. 1 is spiritual music. 2 is faith. You know, we walk by faith, not by sight, because we also know that as humans, whatever we focus on, we see more of. And remember, humans, we have lots of information to process, so we do eradicate certain information. It's a bit like if you decide to play the yellow car game, all of a sudden, because that's what you're focused on, you start to see yellow cars. And lastly, my inner circle are absolutely fundamental. These are the people who believe in me when I start to doubt believing in myself. And actually what happens is they can carry you, you know, and that has been fundamental to my success. It's fundamental to where I'm going. It's fundamental to where I am right now. And I guess lastly, another one would be that I'm never afraid to ask for help. I don't care that people might look down upon me or think, oh, you should know how to do that. I don't have that kind of an ego, because ego is all about edging God out. And when it's all about me, like certain things are my lane, I slay in, and certain things I slack in. Yeah. So the logical side of things, like, you know, finances, numbers, some of that detail, some of that I find boring. But what I have been wise enough to do is to ensure that people support me in my business or in my life with some of those challenges are very much on the logical side. So I hope this video might be of benefit to somebody out there who's battling, who always feels underlooked. It can be an inspiration, but it can also lead to, well, I guess at worst it can lead to depression and vexation and annoyance. But if you're on the cusp and that's how it feels, sometimes it might mean you need to flip the script too. So when I was in a job and I continuously got overlooked, that was one of the factors that led to me pushing full-time into Key for Change. So I kind of relinquished that goal of trying to get a higher paying job, trying to progress within my job. And I thought, right, I'm going to invest in my business. So you also have to be wise enough to know when you have to let go of certain goals, when it's like, you know what, let go of that and I'm just going to do something alternative. And that's wisdom, knowing when to let go and then focus your energy somewhere else. I hope this video may be of benefit, just one single person. And if it is, you know, or you need help, don't forget you can inbox Key. I'm always happy to assist. Take care of you, because if you don't,